integration of STEM in education, particularly through projects in volunteerism and social achieved accolades from global humanitarian organizations. Currently, she works at Greek Ministry of Education and the Greek Astronomy and Space Company, continuously shaping the future of education through innovation. Rania, you are most welcome to my show, and thank you so much for sparing your time. You've been too busy, I understand. Welcome aboard and accept my gratitude, and please share your life journey. Thank you so much.
It's a great, great honor and pleasure to be invited here today. I'm very happy we connected. Already, I'm a part of the Global Abundance Organization, and I'm truly admire your commendable work that you're doing because, organization like this, which centers on the idea of abundance as peace, could have a profound impact, especially if it's shifting the global narrative from competition to share well-being, inner peace, and collective thriving. So we have this chat before starting, and I'm really surprised. I think we have many things in common when it comes to peace. So this organization, which focuses on cultivating peace through community education, mindfulness, sustainability, or even economic empowerment, actually places the concept of abundance as something transformative. Less than accumulation, more about equitable flourishing. And this kind of abundance is what is sustainable and regenerative. It's not competitive or scarce like material wealth often is. It grows, we could say, when it's shared. So, in this sense, peace as abundance is one of the highest forms of wealth. This is amazing what you share with me today. I could never, make the parallel comparison between, the parallel relation between peace and abundance. When peace is abundant, it suggests a state when peace isn't just the absence of conflict, but a deep presence, I could say. A presence within oneself, among people, a presence that overflows into how we live, treat others, and make decisions. So, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this noble organization with a noble cause. And you asked me to share my life journey. Yes, I'm a teacher and educator. I was born in Greece, in Athens, the capital of Greece. I was appointed in first and secondary education in a remote island very far away from Athens, near Turkey. Then I moved to private education. I returned back to Athens. And the last years, I'm the Dutch teacher at the Greek Ministry of Education. For several years, I have been working at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation, where I try to promote the STEM vision and mission. I introduced many innovations there. For example, I launched a STEM workshop for students of primary and secondary education who come in the installation of the ministry and they get a training, they get initiated into the world of STEM. I'm writing also on designing programs, STEM programs for Greek schools. And apart from this, I'm collaborating very closely with the Greek Astronomy Space Society and the Hellenic Physics Society, organizing STEM workshops, astronomy, astronomical nights, astronomical events, lectures, many, many activities in order to disseminate and diffuse astronomical knowledge to students. But of course, our main goal, actually the main goal of STEM education is to make science attractive to students, especially in the young age, if it's possible in preschool age. How to attract students, because we know that traditionally the way that science is taught was uninteresting and did not appeal to the interest and the needs of children. Apart from this, after my first, after the first awards, I think when I was selected among the best teachers in 19, I wanted to make this STEM vision and STEM teaching philosophy accessible worldwide. We're talking about the period 2016 when nobody knew what was STEM. It was not popular, not even in Greece. I was lucky because I participated in a very innovative program which was organized by CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. It was about teaching particle physics to young children, so you can understand that this changed my whole life. And this was the start, the beginning of my career as a STEM instructor. Because why it was challenging, I had to design the curriculum because particle physics is not included in the Greek curriculum, especially primary education. Talk about how to design activities, how to talk about quantum physics to students of 6 and 7 years old, how to give resources to students who were coming from low socioeconomical background. Another challenge that I had, and also I was working this period the 3 schools in the suburbs of Osama schools who were have terrible infrastructure, so it was not easy, not even to find always a room for technology. So despite all these challenges, and I have also parents who were not you know, who didn't agree with the idea of teaching particle physics to the children because they were telling me that it's very young, and they were afraid. But despite all these challenges, and after many pedagogical sessions, and when at the end of the academic year, children displayed all the amazing projects that they have done, this was, and when my students told me that I want to be a physicist and I want to go to CERN, this was actually the success of the program, the success of my mission. Because, as I said before, the main goal, of course, the main goal of this project was not to teach particle physics to students. It was to make them attractive, make the science attractive to them, and give them opportunities for the future to prepare them for the complex global problems like climate change, like poverty, issues of inequality, all these issues that STEM can actually help to first to prepare students as future leaders, and then STEM helps because it encourages students to give solutions, especially through technology. Through devices, through STEM technology, students can suggest and can invent the devices, they can invent apps, they can be engaged in robotics projects, everything that is related with their innovation, their creativity. So creativity, innovation, thanks to my creative spirit and my talent, I have a special talent. I can popularize science. I mean, even the most difficult and abstract concept of science, I can present it in play-based methods, in fun ways, in interactive ways for children. This could be through kinesthetic activities. For example, we represented the model of the atom with students of 7 years old kinesthetically, role play. So at the age already of 9 years old, the children knew about the model of the atom because they had represented it 2 years earlier kinesthetically. Try to integrate art. That's why we talk nowadays about STEAM. STEAM is integration also of arts alongside with technical skills. And if we talk about astronomy, I try to integrate, in general with STEM, we try to integrate hands-on activities, experiential learning. It's all about hands-on. It's all about interdisciplinarity, to make connections between different cognitive subjects, different sciences, and at the same time, in one project, combine them all. So when you ask, for example, when I request from my students to create a maquette with a spacecraft which will be able to go to Mars, the planet Mars. Then what we're doing in one project, we combine, of course, we use technology because the students need to use coding, programming in order to make the rover move. We use art because our market should be aesthetically fine, aesthetically nice, beautiful. Science, of course, because students should know what are the conditions of living there in Mars, what are the materials they should use for this market. Engineering, because the construction should be uh, stable. And this is the magic of STEM. In one project, you're doing everything. Through these activities, I forgot to mention that I'm a volunteer many years. I promote service learning practically my whole life, and that's why I was appointed here in Greece as the national ambassador of volunteerism and education of the Greek Academy. Volunteerism Help Hellas. What we are doing, we are creating networks of Greek people who live, for example, in Australia or in other countries, and we try to connect them in order for them to help each other. We try to help vulnerable groups such as refugees. I'm teaching as a volunteer many years to refugees because in Greece we have a great number of refugees, especially those who are coming from war zones. Children with special education needs, children with ecological hospital, in general, vulnerable groups. And this led to my highest achievement. My highest achievement was the design and implementation of very impactful humanitarian projects, which were implemented in Africa and Asia. The first one was about water. It was called Water Life Given a Threat. We talk about students who live in Malawi and Kenya, didn't have water to drink. So how to design a project with those students who are thirsty? They didn't have school bag, they didn't have a whiteboard, they didn't have pens. So we had to design a STEM project which could include only natural elements, not for them environment, for their natural surrounding, water, sand, wood, trees, and the first thing, the first success was that these students were actually started to get motivated because, of course, students who are not thirsty, they cannot be motivated. They performed water experiments, they learned swimming, they learned how to sanitize, to filter their water. We talk about students who drink the water like a mud. Nobody has taught them to how to filter their water. So I integrated many activities for dramatization also, how to economize and save the water. So things like that. The impact was huge because we managed to get sponsorships, sanitation filter equipment from USA, churches, and other organizations. We managed to obtain the drilling of 6 wells in Malawi, in these areas where students had to walk miles to find clean water. And after this, a similar program, again based on Sustainable Development Goals on UN SDGs, was a project about food awareness. Actually, a combination of healthy food, combination of food, in case of food shortage. It was implemented in India, in slums. This project inspired educators who visited the slums of families and donated money, educating them, etc. And furthermore, there was another one about COVID, and a very important program of mine also had to do with gender-based violence in Nigeria. It was implemented in public schools with great success. It was not easy because I had to design activities to teenagers who were already violent, who have already formed an aggressive attitude. But I try to integrate activities based on cognitive neuroscience. I forgot to mention that I'm a researcher also in neuroeducation, neuroscience, everything has to do with brain-based strategies. And through these activities, for example, students could learn what happens in the human brain when it receives violence. They learn about shocking statistic facts about gender-based violence there in Nigeria, etc. So many projects. Now my most recent project focusing on mental health, especially teenagers. Why? Because in the Greek ministry, I conducted a workshop, a seminar to students. It's about safer internet, cybersecurity, things like that. But during this workshop, I realized that students are suffering a lot, especially from the cyber world. I mean, I have students who have serious mental health disorders. It's not easy to make them open up, to speak up. They feel shy, they're afraid. We have cases of students, for example, who are suffering from social media. They have depression, anxiety. This all this phenomenon of social comparison, social media. We have the cases of 500 children in Greece who are hospitalized because they're addicted to laptops and they cannot get detached from the bed, from the laptops. They can't go to the toilet without the laptops. They even wear pampers, so shocking and alarming situations, high rates of addiction in Greece. So I started after this workshop to now to design programs about mental health. Already today, I had a training session to students in Nigeria, and the topic was suicide and how actually we can handle with suicidal risk and tendencies. Um, Yes, sorry. If you leave me, I can speak for hours. Okay. No, I have to to make a pause now.
No, 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 no. Speak your heart out. I mean, this is so amazing, and your life is full of activity, enthusiasm, and you are doing amazing stuff. And really, it's so energizing. I mean, I'm doing one or two stuff, but I mean, you are doing dozens of it. That's amazing. Please continue.
Yes. I mentioned about the astronomy, and I'm also a writer of scientific book for kids. I have written a book which was it's very successful here in Greece. It's about astronomy for kids of 5 years old and above. And why it's innovative? Because I try to combine science with humor. So what is the concept? It's called planetary interviews. What is the concept? The planets leave a place and they come to Greece, and there is a naive, a funny journalist who takes interview from them, and we learn this way all the characteristics of planets through humoristic dialogues, through dialogues who cannot be erased from memory, who can be absorbed in what we call long-term memory. And schools here in Greece, they dramatize, thanks to this dialogical format of the book. Students can dramatize this book at the end of the year. They presented it, etc. So it's really, amazing how the ways I mentioned before that you can teach science. Plane-based methods. Now I shared another format through storytelling which is humoristic, and everything in the book is it's real. Everything scientific fact. I have integrated modern, the most recent astronomical knowledge, but in a way that could be attractive to students. A very nice illustration, etc. Within my effort to popularize science, one is this is my love for writing scientific books for kids, for children. And since we talk about peace education, I think is one of the most foundational ways to plant the seeds of lasting change. Teaching the youth, especially the youth, on how to resolve conflict, how to communicate with empathy, how to understand the diversity, cultivate inner calm. It's not easy because students now, unfortunately, becoming more and more aggressive. They're very unhappy. They're coming from disturbed family environments, from divorced families. It's not easy. We have high rates also of drug abuse, substance abuse, alcohol. So, but peace building activities like role playing or simulation, mediation activities, debates that we can organize. Many times I have organized debates with students also of other countries about SDGs. So we can see, the different perspectives, the different alternatives, the cultural differences. So students learn to respect how to be tolerant towards different religions, different ideas. And mostly, the most important is that they develop this way emotional intelligence and mindfulness. So what I'm trying to is to create inclusive environments, safe spaces for dialogue, for discussion, for healing, for mutual understanding, and promote always no-violent communication and conflict resolution. So this kind of work, of course, has ripple effects because it doesn't just change individuals, it changes families, schools, and even policies over time. I always say in my presentation that teachers are life changers and also brain changers. And brain changers, and this is related with another passion that I have. I'm passionate researcher in cognitive neurosciences, in brain-based learning, in neuroeducation. And during the COVID pandemic, I'm very proud because I wrote an article which had a great impact all over the world. It had a million readers. I wrote an article. I tried to present the neuroscientific, to present how to cope, how teachers can cope with the COVID pandemic in the classroom, but adopting a neuroscientific approach. So what I did is to share some principles of neuroeducation, how they can be applied in this critical time, critical period of the COVID pandemic. The first one had to do with creating positive emotions. Of course, because our brain needs security, needs safety in order to evolve and in order to interact. And of course, we talk about interaction. Our brain, neuroscience says that our brain is social, that our brain needs others to interact and need others to evolve. So collaboration, even with online distance platforms, is possible because we have so many collaborative tools and platforms that we can leverage even during the period of lockdown. Um, and I try to integrate these principles about the role of emotion because, emotion is closely related with thoughts, closely related with thinking. Everything we think is related with emotion. So if we give stronger emotional stimuli to children, then the information will be automatically be absorbed in what we call long-term memory. This is what neuroscience tells us. So we need stronger positive emotional stimuli. Um, we need also to take into consideration the reward system of our brain, which has to do with neurotransmitters, with dopamine hormones, which are responsible for euphoria, with all things like that. So this means at the same time how to use effectively other things, gamification, for example, or how we can use AI, artificial intelligence in the classroom. It's a big chapter we can speak for hours. So neuroscience, it's a great part of me as a researcher. I have written articles on this, and in general, education is my, passion. Free quality education to all is one of my main, I think, my main mission. This could be.
Wow, I mean, this is like a marathon of activities, and it's exhaustive list of things you are doing, and these all, each one of them is incredible. Speaking from peace and STEM projects, and even utilizing the ambience and environment. Even Nigeria, where there are due to dearth of resources, they don't have ample money to for the STEM projects. But I mean, you're utilizing the natural resource there, whatever is available there. And this is, I mean, and then you're working for peace also for the people. I mean, amazing story. Then and you're working for the people who are drug addicts, and then I mean, you're working a lot for education, making it attractive, interesting for the kids, and you're also you're addressing the challenges of the youth, especially the broken families. I mean, oh, amazing. I mean, what? I mean, can I ask what is that you're not doing? The question should be, what is that you're not doing? You're doing everything about education, peace, prosperity, and I mean amazing stuff. Okay, I mean I need to learn because I am also, my family is broken one. I'm also divorced, and I've got four kids, 7, 16, 15, 7 and 8, and the kids are with me. These are boys, and I am also facing a lot of trouble. And my eldest one is going no more to school, and three are going, but I mean, since their mother, she's got married, so they are disturbed. Absolutely, I mean, the mother is not seeing them anymore, and I mean, they right now they are in the same city, but I mean, I've sent them to see because they were asking that we want to go to see our mother, but I mean, she's not allowing them, the kids, to see her. So I am going through a very difficult time, and this situation is very difficult. So I mean, is there anything you can advise me so that that these kids can get to education and get a little bit of peace and harmony in their mind, and they can get to school?
So we're talking about in general kids who are coming from a divorced hmm, families in general. This is what you are
Yeah,
asking me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look, the rate of divorce has been increased, especially talk about Europe and Greece. The majority of couple are divorced, or they stay conventionally. So it's something that we have to live with. No, it's a plague, I could say. What I have seen from my experience, from my students, kids are suffering. In general, kids from divorced families experience unique emotional, social, academic challenges. But at the same time, what I see is that many of them show resilience and adaptability because, they say that when we face challenges, we become stronger. So sometimes, some children wrongly blame themselves for the divorce. I have seen this, the kid. Or these transitions between homes, changes in routines, or parental conflict is something that can cause stress. So it's about anxiety, sometimes depression. There are behavioral also changes, and this is visible inside the classroom. Some children express their emotional distress through aggression or withdrawal. There are troubles in schools or low academic performance due to this emotional distraction. There are relationship struggles, but trust and attachment in future relationships may be affected. Um, but talk about resilience. Many children grow stronger emotionally. They can develop coping skills. What we say, coping skills, learn flexibility. If the divorce removes them from a high conflict home, their emotional being can improve. And kids sometimes develop, deeper relationships with each parent individually. Is another statement that I can say. Stronger bonds with each parent. What for me, the best support strategies could be counseling or therapy. This can help children process emotion. Secondly, it's about consistency, communication from both parents. This can create stability and, of course, a reassurance that they are loved, they are not to blame, they cannot blame anyone. This is crucial. So I believe that this depends on how you will help children develop the coping strategies that could be internal or external coping strategies, and how they should reframe this disappointment, this depression, into something transformative for them. Because what I always say in the presentation, that every mistake, every failure, disappointment should be an opportunity for growth. So develop a growth mindset means try to cope with something difficult and become stronger. Let's talk honestly that divorce is a life-altering event for everyone involved, but it has sometimes a particularly stronger impact on children. So these feelings, which can lead to increased stress or anxiety, can be faced through counseling, as I said before, through much love. So children need to feel that they are loved, that they're appreciated, that they are heard by both the parents. And they show this way incredible strength with the right support, open communication, consistent routines. There shouldn't be distractions. Try to create consistent routine, reassurance from both parents. And then I think they can develop stronger problem-solving skills, they can develop better emotional maturity in comparison to other students, and closer bonds, as I mentioned before, with its parents. Um, so, of course, divorced families face unique hurdles, but their experiences do not define their futures. Because with love, with stability and understanding, I think they can thrive like any other child.
Thank you so much. I have already hit my today's limit, and I'll be talking to you soon because I mean, as we've agreed that we'll be launching series of podcasts, and there are a lot to learn from you. There's a lot that you can inspire about, and there's a lot. I mean, people can learn from you, and the huge topics, and it will take me months and months and months to cover the stories you have to share. Thank you so much, Professor.